Welcome everyone, this is Halo Sensei and today we're reviewing Halo CE. I know it's an it's a pretty old game, I know, but still, we're reviewing this game because I'm a Halo fan and I love this series in particular and I actually wanna, you know, give some love to one of my favorite games of all time and a game that introduced me to the first person shooter genre. And that game is Halo CE, right? So let's get straight into this. This is gonna be a part by part video. So if you get annoyed by that, you can just skip to each section you have in the comment in the description. And if not, then just watch the video and that's it. This is my best attempt at reviewing Halo CE part by part. In the early years of Bungie, in 1997, they were working on Myth 2, which was supposed to be a Elder Scrolls kind of game, right? But then they made a branch, right, that was supposed to make another game, which was supposed to be an RTS, which would later become Halo Wars later in 2009, I think. So this RTS was supposed to be a sci-fi RTS set in the future, set in you know current Halo setting, which is 2552 in Halo CE, right? And it went through the phase of being an RTS. Um, and at first it was supposed to have fauna, like actual animals in the game and stuff that would attack you and actually just kill you, whatever. Just like in Halo Reach, actually. And then they created the Covenant, and then they created the UNSC. I mean, they went through a lot of things when creating Halo CE. When I actually made my research on Halo CE, right? And Combat Evolved came through what apparently was a third-person phase. Excuse me. What was the third-person phase? To the fact that people, I mean, not the people, the public. I mean, Bungie didn't like the idea of actually being an RTS. They wanted it to be a third-person game, something that you could actually shoot, that you could immerse yourself in. And then they say, screw that, let's make a first-person game. I mean, we have Doom, we have Medal of Honor. Why don't we make a first-person game? I mean, why not? It should probably sell well. I mean, why not? And then they decided to make it a first-person game. And here's a screenshot of what actually was um, Halo CE back in the moment, right? And this is a screenshot of what it is now, right? So that was pretty much the development of Halo CE in a nutshell. It was not a cluster fuck, if you can call it that. I mean, I think it was more of a undecision kind of moment. But excuse me, I'm actually pretty sick right now, so yeah. Excuse me for my voice, but anyways, it was not that much of a clusterfuck as many games are right now that are stuck in development hell. But I think it was more of a undecision kind of moment, actually, and it turned out well. It turned out into a masterpiece, into an awesome game that I still play to this day, right? So this covers up the section of the development for Halo CE. Now let's talk history, right? So Halo CE starts off with a ship, the UNSC Pillar of Autumn, which pretty much just escapes from Reach, a planet that was just destroyed by the Covenant, which is an alien alliance that just wants to obliterate the whole of humanity. And you arrive in this unknown planet, and this planet has in orbit some kind of ring world, which is later called Halo, right? And yeah, your ship is pretty much just obliterated right now, and you escape the ship. But let's talk what you actually are. You're not some kind of normal soldier like in Call of Duty, like in um, Medal of Honor. You're not some random private. No, you're the Master Chief. You're Spartan. You're an augmented soldier, which is pretty much just a badass, right? So what they wanted to get with Halo was that you get this feeling of impending doom. If we don't destroy the Halos, we might fuck everything up, and the Covenant might use it as a weapon against us and just obliterate the whole of humanity, right? So the story sums up in you crash land into this ring world called Halo. You fight the Covenant, then you save the world, right? You save pretty much humanity, right? That's all Halo is about, saving humanity. But in Halo CE, you actually fight another species apart from the Covenant. I mean, this is not a species. This is pretty much space zombies, right? Which this kind of space zombies are actually pretty cool. Not gonna lie, they're called the Flood, and they appear in the mission 343 Guilty Spark. I am not really sure, but still. What you're seeing right now is gameplay from um, the Silent Cartographer. I really couldn't get that much gameplay, especially since my computer just fucking died. But still, um, that sums up the story pretty well, I think. I mean, you're this super soldier that wants to save humanity from the impending doom that is the Covenant, and then you actually have to fight space zombies, weird fucking popcorn or whatever. And that's pretty much what you do. You fight popcorn and fight aliens and get betrayed by 343 Guilty Spark, which is an AI. Cortana, your sidekick, pretty much just helps you and guides you through the whole missions. I mean, in some missions, not in all of them. Because imagine just having Cortana talking to you in your left headset the whole time, telling you what to do. I mean, that would be just annoying and will probably drive you to insanity. But hey, that's pretty much the story for Halo CE. Now, when talking gameplay, I think Halo CE for its time had the most fluid gameplay I have seen in a first-person shooter game of 2001, right? So, gameplay is pretty much based around a two-weapon system, which will later be applied to a whole genre of games, which are the FPS games, right? Instead of having just a wheel of weapons like you had in Doom, yeah, you had in Duke Nukem, you could actually have two weapons and that's it. You it added just a layer of difficulty and a layer of realism to it. Because in real life you can only carry two weapons and a rocket launcher in your back if you're really strong. I mean, in the army you see these pictures of people just having their M16 and a sidearm, a Glock, whatever, an M1911. And then if they're engineers or whatever, they carry their backpack. Or if they're anti-tank troopers, they actually carry a anti-tank weapon, which is a rocket launcher. Well, in Halo CE, you're a super soldier, but you still carry two weapons. I mean, I suppose the Lord's excuse of that is because they're really heavy, because the weapons itself they are pretty giant. I mean, for a Marine, they're pretty giant, but for a super soldier, they're normal size, right? And actually, I have my figures right here. I have a Marine figure, and if I put the Master Chief weapon, the assault rifle, on the Marine weapon, it actually looks fucking giant, right? It's just huge, right? So yeah, the game is pretty much based around two weapon system. And not really fast. You can't sprint. I mean that slows down the pace of the game, which I actually like. I mean it's really just when it comes to pace, it's the perfect pace for a game, right? You can't sprint because you're sprinting the whole time, but you're not sprinting as fast as you may think you'd be sprinting, like in, I don't know, Advanced Warfare or whatever, you know. And most of it, most of the movement actually is, for me, it's perfect, right? Because I've been playing Halo for a long time, but for other people, it's kind of slow. But this is good. This is complemented by the shield system and health bar system, which are actually just perfect for Halo. It's just a perfect fit for making an FPS shooter different from the rest. Like, if you think about it, you had regenerating health in Call of Duty. You had, um, you didn't have a health bar, and all you had was pretty much just regenerating health. That's it. But in Halo CE, you actually had like health packs, had a shield that would actually regenerate and give you another chance to fight if you were low health. And I think that's something that differentiates you from a normal marine, a normal soldier, right? And you're pretty much this walking tank that just mows down enemies, and except in legendary. In legendary, you don't want to mow down enemies. You just want to kill them. That's it. You don't want to rush things up, right? So yeah, that pretty much sums up the gameplay. I think um, if I'm missing something, which I doubt I am, please point it down in the comments, because you know it's actually something that helps a lot when it comes to making a game, like the gameplay itself, the movement speed, the actual health bar or the regenerating health, the shields you have, um, the weapons you have, which I'll talk about right now. So the weapons of Halo, you may be asking, which are the weapons of Halo? Well, you're actually introduced to them in a fashionly order, right? So at first you're given this mm, giant pistol, 50 cal, and you're like, I don't keep it loaded, son. You have to find ammo as you go. That's what Captain Key says, and you're given ammo at the end of the hallway, right? And then you start mowing down grunts and stuff, and you're given an assault rifle, which is pretty much it's pretty, you can't aim with it. All right, you just have this crosshair. It's like reticle, and it's pretty much a Mac 10 when it comes to fire rate. All right, it's a Mac 10, but in giant size. You have this humongous, like huge fire rate, and you just mow down enemies with it at the beginning of the mission, killing elites. And at the end of the mission, you are actually introduced to grenades, right? And then in the second mission, you're introduced to the sniper rifle, the Warthog, which is it's not, it doesn't count as a weapon, but it's part of the gameplay, right? And in the third mission, you're introduced to the Covenant weapons, right? When it comes to the Needler, the plasma rifle, the plasma pistol, all of that stuff. Then, fourth mission, you use all of those weapons, just apply them to everything you have. And of course, you get introduced to the rocket launcher and all that stuff, right? So, the rest of the missions are just, you know, except for the, I think it's 343 Spark, which you actually get introduced to the shotgun. But for the rest of the missions, you gotta manage your weapon system, because you only get to have two weapons. So I think the best combination would be, you know, a plasma pistol and a magnum. Which, if you wanna go try hard, I mean, just go for it. But what I normally go is a close range weapon like an assault rifle, and a long range weapon, sniper rifle, um, or hell, even a magnum and a sniper and an assault rifle. That's it. That's all I use for Halo CE, right? and I think it's just a perfect combination for Halo CE if you want to get immersed into it, right? So those are pretty much the weapons of Halo CE, right? Like you have a sniper rifle, a magnum, assault rifle, um, plasma rifle, needler, a plasma pistol, and yeah, those are pretty much the weapons of Halo. Now, talking about the enemies, this is a topic that I wanted to talk about, like in the first minute of the video, because the enemies in Halo are actually perfect, right? They're not shooting galleries. That's it. Enemies in Halo are pretty much just based around three categories, right? You have the cannon fodder, which are the grunts, and the flood. Then you have your equals, which will be the elites. And yeah, that's pretty much. In Halo CE you have the elites, and in Halo 2 you're getting introduced to the brutes. But in Halo CE you have the elites, which are your equal. They have shields, they have health, and oh, and of course the hunters. But in Halo CE you can't just kill them with a shot in the back with a magnum or a sniper rifle. That's it. I mean, it's really just easy, even on legendary. It's really easy. All right. And then you have, of course, enemies that try to annoy you or are just, you know, um, plain fun to play with against, which are the jackals and some platforms. Like as an example, I would say mm, the carrier form as an example. Um, those are the three types of enemies that Halo CE has. But you may be asking, how are you introduced to these enemies? Are you like completely just have all these enemies boarding the Pillar of Autumn in a single shot? Well, no. You get introduced first to the grunts, the first mission, and the elites. Then, as you go by the missions, you get introduced to the jackals in the second mission, actually, and you get also introduced in probably the seventh mission, I think. You get introduced to the flood, right? The flood forms, like the infector forms, which are actually just um, little popcorn that just attack you, and that's it. They just go through your shields and infect you, or maybe they just get destroyed by your shields. That's all they do, right? And what pretty much happens is that you know you get introduced in a very good way to the enemies of Halo, and that's something that I really enjoy playing Halo CE. Like you don't get this feeling of being overwhelmed by them. You get this feeling of, well, first these guys, then this guys, then the flood, then everyone together. That's it. That's the flow of the video. And of course, when playing Halo CE, you gotta have a hierarchy of killing enemies. First, you go against the elites. If you have a group of grunts and elites and jackals, you first go for the elites, then jackals, then grunts. But if you go against the flood, you go against everyone literally, because the tactics just to overwhelm you, and that's different from the Covenant, right? Covenant just attack you and flank you and all that stuff, throw grenades at you, do everything they can to kill you, while the Flood just overwhelm you, and I think that's something that separates them a lot, especially when you play Halo CE on Legendary. Now, this will later be refined in Halo 3 and Halo 2, but Halo CE is pretty much that. That pretty much that's pretty much it for the enemies of Halo CE, right? So yeah. So this pretty much concludes what Halo CE is, right? We already talked about everything, like weapons, the enemies, the gameplay, the story, not history story. I just realized that, and my conclusion is Heresy is an overall pretty complete game. I think it was a staple for the actual FPS genre, FPS genre, right? And I think that it's probably one of the best games of all time. What is my rating for this game? I would probably say 9.5 out of 10, just because of the flood. I don't like the flood that much. Honestly, I feel like they will be better in a survival game more than Halo itself. I mean, the firefight game mode, if it existed in 2001, I think that would have been great. That would have added a lot to what Halo was. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, guys and girls, whatever you are. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace out.